They say men are from Mars and women are from Venus, but me think that divide wide enough to talk about the gap between us. Rabs, bacchanal and contention, we have all of that in the session. Let we talk man and woman thing, warriors, jamets, queens and kings. We are sure if men are from Mars and women are from Venus. But little comments on a Friday. Jaiga, Raw, Roddy versus Abby. 3 man and 1 jamet from South. That is what we talking about.
But the jamet from South not here today. Yeah, she under the weather, so she inside.
Explicit, boy.
So it's just me. Yeah. So to all my beautiful Ojo women out there, you can feel free to chime in on the WhatsApp. I promise to try and read and play all voice notes. It'll be better if you send a voice note though, your contribution. You understand? It will be much better if you send a voice note. That way we could banter properly. You understand? Yes, I. Today I just feel as though, with all the things that's going on in the space, let's talk budgeting in relationships. Due to the economic constraints of the world, globally, the high prices of things and so on, couples need to budget. Yeah. Because you know, it's been said that the man is the provider of the home. So, being the provider, at some time you have to put your foot down and go and sit with the home and pull everybody together. Say, let's have a family meeting. Pull wife, children, pull child, CM, pull, if you shack up, whatever your living situation. Today is the day. Mark today's day down. What's the day today, Roddy? 27th? What's the day today? The 26th. 26th of May. Make today the day calling everybody. Say, hey, send your significant other a message right now. We have to talk later. Yeah, listen now. We have to talk. We talking finance. Pretend your column in. We talking finance. And I feel as though we need to talk budgeting in relationships because far too long you're hearing all these things going about who cheap, who this and who that. Okay, cool. Let us budget. Let's get on to brass tacks. We have to, as adults, budget in relationships. What are you willing to cut? That is the question. On both sides, what are you willing to cut? You understand what I'm saying? Because we have grown accustomed as adults, you're coming into your own, and before courting, before you met your person, you would have had things that you are accustomed doing. You understand? Both sides, both man and woman. There are things you're just accustomed doing. For men, you know, on a Friday, you just take a line with the boys. Saturday morning, you get up early and go and play football, whatever you do. Your energy and your vibe are things that you just spend on that people looking on you outside be like, why are you buying that or why are you spending on that? And then they come into this space now and expect you to just conform to what they believe. You understand? So we need to talk budgeting. What are you willing to give up? Let's say, for instance, let me paint this scenario. You're an independent woman. You've been doing your thing. Yeah, I know, mister. But no serious relationship. You're dating or whatever. And there's this man that you're interested in and you really want to take it to the next level. But here are the things that you do normally for yourself. You want to whim, take trips. You understand? When you go to Pennywise, you don't watch what you put in your basket. You just buy things. Because you're taking care of yourself. So you're buying things. You understand what I'm saying? You can change your angle. Yeah. You're buying things. And now you're in this situation and you all have to talk budgets and he's asking you to replace some of the things. Telling you things like, why do you have to go and do your nails? You can't go and month it out your nails. You can't file it home yourself. Why you have to go and do your hair? You can't shampoo it home yourself and take a brush back. You can't shampoo and take a brush back. Oh, good. All the time good. You doing your thing, you know. No problems, you know. You understand? On occasion, your Shein cart, your clean your Shein cart thing coming home. So you had to buy things. All you going out and you tell him, well, oh good babe, I had to go and get something, you know, I had to buy something to go. She's telling you, but you can't wear something that you had there already. She can wear something I have already. So, and vice versa. What are you willing to give up? What are you willing to cut? What kind of budget are you willing to do in this relationship? That's what we're talking about. What are you willing to give up? Is that a deal breaker? You ain't giving up nothing. That's what we're talking about today. What are you willing to give up? We budgeting today because there are some things, let's be being fair, there are some things that you know we could give up. On both sides. Because if you're building towards something, you know when you're going on that road that Nikki used to like to talk about, when you're building towards something. Like let's say for instance, you buy a little car, you want to change your rim and tire. For what? It didn't come with rim and tire. The car didn't come with rim and tire. Why you want to go and buy a fresh set? It didn't come with rim and tire. But you know, all your life when you buy a little whip and thing, you just change because as a man, that's the thing you do. She's telling you, but you have to hear that. Next thing, remember you live in a particular lifestyle, you have a particular barber you like to go by. Your barber just charge 300, right? Because he's a man grooming your beard, your thing, you're doing your thing neat. He's paid 300 to buy the barber. But Jessica, who working by your girlfriend, boyfriend, just go by John and pay 40. But the $40 haircut is not what really what you about now. She trying to tell you, but baby, you have to go by him twice a month. That's 600. You can just pay 80 if you go by John. But I find he just give Sheldon a good haircut. That time Sheldon taking our wave cut at one level. Sheldon taking our one level. And she trying to convince you, but you will look good so. This time he's a man taking your feet and groom into your beard and cut thing neat. She trying to tell you that you will look good, sir. Because that's 600, so not making it. Because here why? She want to take out something fresh for home and need that 600 to pay the bill. Because she decide that she want to buy something fresh for home. She see two side table and a nice chair, an accent chair that she saw. I saw an accent chair that I want to get. Nobody is sitting on the chair. It would look so nice in the living room. I need to get that accent chair. And I want to take it out and it's 600 for 6 months. I just want to pay for that. So you don't buy the barber for 6 months. Don't buy the barber for the next 6 months. So she get, what are you willing to give up in this budget? That's what we're talking about. Budgeting in relationships. Are you all ready? Let me check in and see who's here. Oh, Joey, what's good?
Good morning, Ojo. Jaiga, when you're living with somebody who talking finances right through, who business is finances right through, you feel like want to come home and say, baby, let me sit down and have a chat about finances. No, partner, I want to have a chat about me.
Wow. All right, cool, I hear that. I think.
Okay, that's how you meet me, right? If I didn't have my nails, you would have never know. If my hair wasn't looking, you would have never look at me. So, hey, so what?
That's
what
not
happened?
true.
Because
That's
I get,
not
I must stop doing. No, I had to continue.
That's not true.
And no, you don't have no hair on your head, so.
Remember, we talking budgeting. Is that obviously when we met each other, you was doing your things, but now we're in a different stage. Remember, things are stages. The relationship now meets a new stage where we're thinking about doing other things. In order to get to that next point, we have to give up some things. That's what we're talking about. You have to give up some things. What are you willing to give up? Imagine your significant other come and tell you, here what? There's an offer out. We have a link. We need to raise X amount of money in order to pay a deposit. But in order to get there, we have to take away certain things. So he turns and he tells you, here what? We have to give up on our vehicles. Well, there are two cars. We have to give up one. So that means one of you have to now travel. Are you willing to go back to the pushing out your hand with your finger down? Let me share the emotion. For those of you looking at YouTube, are you willing to go back to the shorts? But it's for, understand, it's a purpose, eh? You're not just going back to the shorts for going back to the shorts' sake. It's for a bigger goal. Remember, you're doing it for a short period of time to get to somewhere else. These are the sacrifices we have to make as adults. You can't be in a relationship expected to be, as the old people used to say, hunky-dory all the time. You cannot do that. I'm going to get one in. I'm going to get it. You can't expect it to be hunky-dory all the time. You have to, at some point, sacrifice. So we budgeting in this relationship. So today, I'm telling you to call your significant other and say, hey, well, let's have a chat. Put things down, write it on paper. Sometimes you need to write things down. Look at your expenses now. All the money you spend every month. See where you can save an extra $1,000 a month towards something else. What are you willing to give up, my friends?
Very difficult choice. Okay, by the way, good morning. Yeah. The only thing I might be willing to give up is going out to dinner. Maybe that.
Okay.
But all the others are kind of pretty hard to let go of. Going to luxury restaurants
All right.
and having dinner. Okay, I'll give that up.
All right. Okay. I hear that.
Jaiga, morning. It's all about love and understanding. I will give it up for she because I love her. And if she loves me, she'll do the same thing too, in turn.
Love and understanding, bro. Yeah, love and understanding. Love and understanding, guys.
Ojo, good morning. Jaiga, I hear you. I hear you, and I want to agree. Because, you're bringing two sets of finances together. You want to make sacrifices. When Ollie was living separate, I buying things, you buying things. So let us make the sacrifice in truth. So let me say how our custom going Pennywise and I buy something for me and I buy something for you. I won't buy nothing for you no more. Sacrifices must be made. You don't need them things.
Wow.
You had the basics of the house already.
Wow.
Other than that, let me be happy now.
Wow. So it's about your happiness. Okay, cool.
Love and understanding nothing. While you're in the comfort of your car and AC, I must be pushing out my hand and saying, short your mother.
Guys, all you have to understand, when you love someone, you have to make a sacrifice. So you men are telling me here today that you would not travel for your significant other? For her comfort? Nah, man. I'm disappointed. Right in this room here, there's a young man who made that sacrifice. You understand? There's a young man in this room right now who made that sacrifice. I saw it for myself. This young man I'm speaking of bought a brand new vehicle a couple of years ago. Brand new. I went with him to the dealership to pull it out. We pulled the plastic off the two front seats and drove out. Clang, clang. Months later, he found love. Months later. Next thing you know, we used to have a nice little routine. I would run downstairs. Me and him would go to the gym thing. I'll be rolling in his beautiful black machine with plastic on the back seats because we tear the plastic out in front and listening to the radio on high level. Months later, he tell me, boy, I think I'm going to make it work with this girl. So in order to do the right thing as a man, I'm going to give... And this man start to travel, you watch it. I say, well, I keep going, man. I start to ask him for waiter. But Cleveland going mad. Cleveland give up a brand new thing just to watch when the man had... The bank never called, he never missed a payment. He just decide one day, you see me, I want to pursue better for me. And in order to do that, I'm going to give up this vehicle. I watched that brother and I was like, but look at what's happening now. Your vehicle on top of vehicle. You understand? You understand? Sacrifice can work, guy. Now he has vehicles on top of vehicles. So this is what we're talking about. Love is lovely, guys. Love is lovely.
Well, Jaiga, good morning, Ojo. Well, I think if you're billing, we're billing. So if we're billing and she want me to give up something and I realize that it's for the better of both of we together, I giving it up. And I'm sure my wife will give it up too. That's right. How it is roll.
That's how we rolling, brother. A team. That's what we're talking about, my friend. Team player.
So what I could give up in my budget, I could give up meat. So that will lower my grocery bills. I could give up
meat,
alcohol.
Right?
We could buy less alcohol.
Right. This going somewhere, right? Going somewhere.
Give up, have one less vacation in the year. I could reduce I could do one less. But I can't cut out vacations completely because that is my That keep me sane.
Right, got you.
So maybe one less trip.
That's fair. Now, narrow. That's a fair assessment. Eminem give it to us fair. She said she could cut out meat, which will lessen on the grocery bill, alcohol, and one less vacation a month. Because maybe she has a couple of them that she does to keep her sanity intact. She will give up one. That's good. We can deal with that.
Women don't like to go backwards in lifestyle.
I don't understand nothing that Bijan said, you know.
Jaiga, morning. I have a way to counteract that. You see, just how you were saying that she needed the 600 to buy the thing for the living room, I'll say, alright, here what going on. I ain't giving up all my things. Here what I gonna do. I will walk a little 2 TT ride share a day or pull a little 2 trip a day. Pull a little extra 6 for when the month come, rest down that. Right. And that go be she money to handle her stories. You understand? But
as well.
To give up certain things hard, boy. Especially my haircut. You see the haircut thing, that hard. I prefer work, come out with my car and work a little, pull a little extra trip and handle that.
Men say they want to walk taxi for the haircut, and they're going through that road. Taxi to walk in. But here this though. Remember guys, you run the risk of if you don't want to give up, but then you start giving up of your time together, that could then put a strain in a relationship. Remember, we're already living in a time now where time is scarce. So spending that quality time with a significant other is important. So if you know, don't want to give up something, but using more of that time that you will have, it can then, if not communicated properly, bring a damper in the space. You know? So you have to be careful. It's a double-edged sword. You have to be careful. I hear what you're saying, but you have to be careful about that.
Hi, good morning again. So I have gotten accustomed to a certain lifestyle where every month you're paying maybe about $5,000-$6,000 to see about yourself alone. That's just me, right? That is nails, hair, waxing, everything. When I say everything, every month, right? And recently we had some home renovations to do. My husband told me, he said, babe, we'll have to cut back something, you know. One time off the bat, okay, well we could do it all the hair and the nails and all them kind of thing, you know. This month, me I give it up my max, but you know, I could give up the hair and the nails and the everything else that goes with it. Yeah, that is what you have to do to have a better life. Sacrifices
is important, bro, but it have some people who are not willing to sacrifice. There's some people who not giving up nothing.
So good morning, Ojo. I personally gave up when I got married. I gave up my nails every 2 weeks, get my hair done every month. I cut it off so I no longer have locks. And one thing I am not giving up is my trip. I need to take off 3 weeks. 3 weeks to go to Trinidad a year. That's all. I don't ask for much. I'm not asking you to pay for my ticket. I just need my 3 weeks. That's it. That's all.
All right, Camille, we hear that loud and clear. She not giving up that 3 weeks. Do what you want. She ain't giving up that.
Good morning, Ola. Good morning, Jaiga. Hey, Jaiga, yeah, boy. Tell you the truth, you have to do. At the end of the day, if you're going towards that goal, you have to take one for the team or whatever it is. And if we have to give up a car, hey, I'll tell my wife, here, you take the car because I'd rather she be safe than traveling with some crazy people out here. And I can travel.
Yeah.
And you have to think about it this way too, right? Say something happened in your life, right? One of you gets sick or something, and you gotta cut costs to try and make changes or make ends meet or whatever it is. You have to think about it in that concept. If you want to buy a house, you can't continue just hemorrhaging money, just buying anything you want. You have to take steps to save and to cut back on things. Both are we together, we on a wee road.
Yes,
I think about it that way, so.
Yeah, Rian boy, Baltimore, that's what we're talking about. How much men right now willing to chuck the finger raw? How much men are willing to do the raw? Well, I'm not just talking because I want to talk, you know. I'm talking lived experience here. When the brother did it, I was in shock. But I've lived to see the benefits of chucking your finger. It's okay. I know we feel the world is coming to an end when you have to say, because take it from me. It ain't easy, especially when public transport is at the rate it's at here. Because sometimes you're in city gate so long, you start to rethink life, you know. Because you're waiting on a maxi and it just ain't coming. Especially if you're living in an area where you have to take a maxi, then take a taxi. Then when you reach to your little neighborhood, now you have to wait for an extra taxi to go inside. That's pain. I understand them struggles. I understand it very well.
Jaiga, you know what love and understanding this do? I sold my car and start my business, and she gave me her little Serato to do running up and down and whatsoever and all kind of thing. And it's been a year and a half now. You know what happening after that? Monday coming here, she getting a brand new Sportage straight from the firm.
Yes, I. That's what we're talking about. This upward movements, my guy. Upward movements, my guy.
Good morning, guys. Maybe he could cut out the purchase of broccoli. Not cut, reduce broccoli costs.
Okay.
Roger World, good morning. So hear this. I willing to give up everything Jaiga I can think about. But you know why I'm gonna give up? My side chick boy. Oh God. Don't take that from me. Roger.
Dan. Seek the Lord now. Seek the Lord, my guy. Seek the Lord. My wife has my bank card. She's the queen of cutback. I get things done for us. See, but she's not touching the car and Xbox. And that is what she know. Chuck finger, nothing. I'm not doing that. Hey. Are they really not doing the chuck finger, boy? I was better for you, boy. I feel a chuck finger ain't gonna kill nobody. A little chuck finger never kill nobody. I look at chuck a little finger now and again. Mine charge $100. Oh, the barber is 100. You're not giving up. Real people not giving up the barber too, boy. They're real devoted to the barber, boy. Way, man, gain the barber that cream, boy. Not giving up that money. And some men, well, in the kid, I don't know what is going now. I ain't trimming years. I could only talk for Rob because I give Rob a haircut. But the standard is that it's twice a month now. Some men, they still go every week. I know, men, back in my days when I was trimming it, I had customers was religious. I seen them every Friday. Religiously. Could men afford to go by the barber every Friday and pay that 300? To stay neat and fresh? 300 every Friday is that's a big bill, you know? Like 3 and 3, 6 and 3, 12 and 3, 15 a month. Woo! 1,500 in here, cut a man, boy. That's a like loud bread. If you're on the road to travel, I'm not giving up my mutual transmission. Really, are we living together or still separate? No. This situation is based on people living together. I don't expect people who live in separate lives to have to give up unless it is at the point in the relationship where you're living separate and the reason you're making the sacrifice is to come together. You understand? Like you're living in two separate spaces, but you've decided, listen, we have to make a sacrifice in order to be together. But one of the first steps in that is coming together will automatically save in some. Let's make it make sense. If you're in a case where two individuals renting, let's say we're renting and both are paying $5,000 a month. That's 10 grand. Once you come together, five saved automatically. That's just how it goes. If you're both in a space paying $5,000 each, and you've been together for over a year, and you start to have the conversation about, hey, let's make some changes. What about if we come together? Immediately, you both have 25 on the table. So that is a fresh 5,000 to do something else with. So you can say, well, okay, let us put this 5,000 towards something. And again, that's when you're on the road. And I will say, when you go to that situation, when you get to that point, you have to know exactly what's happening. You have to know this person because they're telling you. One of the saddest things that can happen is if the conversations are not there and things are being omitted and you're just not discussing the right stuff. And 5 years of that gone. Let's just say, in that 5 years, all our money, everything that you save, everything that you try to work towards could fall along very quick if you're not upfront from the beginning.
Hojo, Dark Knight from Philly. I don't mind chucking a finger, but like I chuck finger out here, but I will take a little Uber and a little left out here. The only thing, I had to get my hair done too. I don't get my hair done often, so once a month I had to get my hair done. The only thing I'm not giving up, as the caller say, you see that to the $20 carnival? Yeah. Leave that alone. That have break up in it. Ocho.
This not long, boy.
Team, good morning. All fun and jokes aside, the people who in real struggling, ups, downs, good times, bad times will make those sacrifices at the end of the day. Men who serious about having a family and knowing what it takes and what it endures will make that decision. Men and women who out here for games will not make those decisions. I talking like just like you, I talking from a lived experience. Because if I all the time good with you and then you say let me buy a house and you have a car and I have a car, we will be realistic. He will give up his car because again he don't want me to travel because he know how things are. And then two, we'll work out a schedule. Mommy, Monday, Friday I will pick you up from work to lessen that burden of traveling every day. Every decision made has to have a strategic plan and it must work because in order for the whole thing to work, the dream have to work. And the dream is we want a house, we want too big a car, we want to put the children through school, we're saving up for them to go big college and whatnot, and these are sacrifices in the laws of life that we have to come to. But this plan does not apply to the players and the people who want to be selfish and they want to play the games and look good. It don't ever work out. This is for the real people who gives into being a family and want to be better themselves financial wise in the company and their life.
Jaiga, let me switch a little bit now. Good morning. Jaiga, be real, Jaiga. I'm not paying no 300 for no haircut, dog. You understand what I'm saying? My 50 is the most, but here does grow, boy. You understand what I'm saying? I'm a contractor out there. How I go like to tell you I come in to charge somebody to build a house 1,500 square foot? Think about that. One.
I hear you, but no, bro. That men paying that. It has and house calls now from Baba is 500. I tell men calling Baba home to get a haircut and 500 for house call. I'm not talking crazy figures, you know. Yes, I know it's still a men charge. I find 50 kind of I hear it's a barber still charging 50, but I don't know no barbers are charging 50. That to be men who trimming since 1912. Who still have, them still are the first and this ever make. Them still using the first and this ever come out. Because then I telling you, machine and all price raise. Machine price long time you could get a while senior for about a 550. Now with a machine for 12 and 1300. And men who serious about the craft, there's so much thing. The craft take a whole different turn. If you get men shampooing, men dyeing beard, men putting men getting your hairline now in the barber shop. You go in the barber shop and no hair and come out with a full wave. You understand? So the thing change up, the thing change. So 300 is a figure that I've seen and people paying it comfortably.
Whoa!
No, do with that, Akko. Oh God, Akko. Don't do
Morning.
Don't do with that.
Oh gosh. Whew. That sleep was best.
Don't do with that.
Don't do with that.
Jaiga, all these ladies calling and saying what they giving up, but none of them may say they will give up Gabriel.
And what is that, boy? That is how that dropping. How that dropping. I willing to cut back on hairdresser, nails, eating out often. But I'm not cooking on my hand because I see when as long as the sacrifices are temporary, both partners working towards a common goal, it's all good. Yeah, but a sacrifice is something temporary. Nobody not asking you to go in a situation permanently. To give up something takes maturity. Loving my life now because of past sacrifices we both made, and that's exactly it. When you make the sacrifice and you can live to see it, it really helps. Somebody saying, true Jaiga, two's gone up. Listen, I'm in the profession years now, and I still try to stay as current as possible. Rocker tell you that. Just the other day we went up, I man is keep my things fresh and current. And when you like something, I just buy machines because of the device, because I like the profession. But two's not the same. Things expensive, especially if you want a nice thing. Once it's for progress, I giving up anything.
I'm not cutting back on nothing.
Wow.
Everything I have is what I want and I keep in it.
Okay, Mindy. Right, Mindy. But we hear you now, but you see what you driving and how you living, Mindy. This doesn't apply to you. You're wicked hour. You already make the sacrifice and doing well. Don't come and try and trick me now. You nice in Rhode Island, you know, because of what you doing. You nice. We talking to the couples who are now looking to do that to make that sacrifice. You understand? Men who now looking to make the sacrifice. What are you willing to give up? I'm hearing here the men are making me feel proud. Men say they have no problem chucking their finger. That is the most common thing, if you're being honest. In terms of sacrifices, that is one of the first things people give up. Because, for instance, if we need to talk the technicalities of it here right now, let me give it to you real quick. You know when they go to the bank, they do debt ratio, right? In your debt ratio, they look at your debt, the things you have to pay, blah, 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 in order for you to approve for a mortgage. That's how it goes. And then you have to have your deposit, your stamp duties, closing, and all of that, right? In order to get to that place, they need to watch your entire credit. And sometimes you might tell yourself, you just have a little card that you're paying for. You can manage your payments, and you can also manage your mortgage payments. But what the bank looks at is like it might be a little strain. So they might ask you. A lot of the times they will tell you to give up some things. Or the common thing in Trinidad is they tell you find a woman. And they still women find a man, which I really despise. I think that we are at a point now where if somebody wants to get some, especially younger people, because I look at it this way. If you're 25 and your salary could sustain a rent or a mortgage, when you go to a lending institution, they should look at that, and that should be a factor as well. But I don't know why they try to force you to always do it with somebody. Why you just can't stand on you and I have my bread? Sell me the thing, let me pay like everybody else, and you hold the asset as collateral. That's how it goes, and we work from there. Somebody giving up the market, the coffee subscription. Well, I would say let me throw me into the fray. There are things I definitely I'm not giving up coffee for. No, I don't care. I'm not giving up coffee. If you're telling me about I had to give up coffee, well, leave me by myself. I'm not giving up coffee. I'm not. That's one thing I'm not giving up at all. And next thing, it might song, or it might frown at me, but you know I'm not giving up either. They have me in a vice grip, the on my neck. I'm not giving up iTunes. That subscription not going a place. Fight me on that. I need it because without that, people could get lash. I need to be able to be in my peace and my moment and listen to my things and be cool and not giving it up at all.
Jaiga, here, man. 13 years ago, we sacrificed everything. Down to the clothes on the back, down to the underwear that we wore. I remember my husband telling me, he said, Sarah, you sure you don't want a new jeans to go out, girl? Nothing? I was like, no. Why? Because I want a nice house. I want nice things in my house. He sacrificed everything. Listen, that man went down High Street and getting people to tack his slippers. He leather slippers. Tack it here, man. That is what you call sacrifice. To have all the nice things. Now everybody watching and they say, oh God, they have everything and it's nice and da-da-da-da-da. Nobody are going to sacrifice and do the things we do to get those things though.
Exactly.
Grand rising team. You see why I cannot take men serious? All these men talking about chucking out hand and all these lovely things. There comes Terry. Nah. I can't do without my coffee. You have a problem. We'll go to a little meeting together. You'll stand and say hi, I'm Terry Calendar, and right. I'm addicted to coffee, and we will move on.
No,
right?
sir.
You drink a little bush tea. It does the same thing.
This is all your problem. Honesty. You all want a relationship that is fully transparent. You all want somebody to be fully vulnerable in this space. I am telling you, these are the. I'm not saying I'm not going to give up on things, but I'm telling you what I would chuck my hand. But in chucking my hand, I need to know how my using maize and my coffee in my hand. You want me to stand up on the bus shoot 4 o'clock in the morning with no music listening to and no coffee to drink? You wicked or you trying to kill? Better kill me. It's like you trying to kill. You want to kill me. You don't want betterment. It's kill. You want to kill me. Come on. I'm willing to give up certain things. But I also said what I'm not with. And this is what the conversation is about. What are you willing to give up? Some women say they're not giving up on their personal things. Like a lady say she will give up the hair, but she's not giving up waxing. You understand? It's cool. And these things are not expensive, but we know how it piles up over time. And you have to look at it lengthily. A lot of the times, you know what we don't do? Especially in the Caribbean, we don't count things in a year. We count it monthly. When you start counting things in a year, you see you get a better picture. Trust me. Take the littlest of thing that you buy, right? And say, boy, let me do it out this for the year. When you see that figure, it's then you understand how it works. And I did that recently. When I mean recently, the past couple of years, you start looking at things from a year look, and the littlest of figure, the littlest of things. Because all right, let me just work some quick match, right? Let's say you're liming. This is a lime bill here. You call around, you're eating out, you're liming with your friend. Let's say this do €350 a week, right? In liming. It might feel like nothing in the moment because it's just $350, right? You drink a little 2 beers, or take a drink, you eat something, you ain't feel that money at all. But that's $350 multiplied by 4, that's $1,400, right? Multiplied by 12, that's $16,800 you spend a year. Just liming with a brethren and sucking on away and eating a fries. $16,800. Take that $16,800 now and multiply it by 5. That is $84,000 in 5 years. You think? $84,000 in 5 years, fucking on a beer. $84,000 you are fucking on a beer and eating fries and a burger. That's what you know. In 5 years, you would have spent $84,000. And in the 5th year, November, when you ask yourself, boy, you want a little something, you hear that little voice and you say, if it didn't suck on them beers. And don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to prevent anybody from happiness, because what we also have to balance is that you have to balance life where you need entertainment. We all need that moment to feel good. I'm not asking anybody or telling anybody to deprive themselves of their personal happiness. That is not what this is about. I'm not doing that at all. Let me get that clear. I'm not saying deprive yourself at all. All I'm saying is when you're making sacrifice, you have to look at it holistically. You dig?
Not doing a place. Jaiga, on a serious note, I give up using my car to come from Central to Diego Martin every morning, Monday to Friday. On a Saturday, I don't really get the bus, so I just use the car on a Saturday. I give up my car for she because of the baby. So I willing to cut back on certain things. I willing to sacrifice. But the thing is, these women and them nowadays are not lamblazing all. They're not willing to sacrifice anything for women. Let me be real. On a serious note, let me be real. They're not doing it for we, Jaiga. Let me be real. Very rare you're gonna get a woman who willing to give up the lifestyle for you. They're not doing it for us. On a serious note, Jaiga, let me be real.
Let me say that there again. We're using the term woman and man loosely, right? Real women who understand what they're for. Like I always say, two most important times in life is the day you're born and the day you figure out what you're born to do. When you figure that out, you tend to operate in a different headspace and in a different energy. But I believe that real women who understand what they want for themselves and they're looking for a particular type of life, they will definitely they want me to do the coffee match. All right, I'll do the coffee match, how much I spend on coffee for the year, right? I'll give a little figure just now, right? But when you're a real man or woman, and it's only at that point that maturity will guide you in the right direction. As what I said earlier when I was talking politics, your moral compass is always guide you. Once you have that intact, everything is going to work out. So yes, the people who you talking about, my boy, who you say not willing, I wouldn't say the majority women are just not willing. They are not ready. Not saying they're not willing, they're not ready. When that maturity kicks in and they understand, both man and woman understand what you want in life, it comes automatically. You will just start to just do things differently because you know what it is you want. People who not making the sacrifices that are we talking about it because they don't know what they want yet. They didn't get to that point. And some people it happens sooner for some than others. For some women it happens way earlier. And most of the times women get to that maturity level faster than men. That's just facts. Women are always structured in a way where they will come to a man and say, listen, this is what I want us to do. This is what I think we should do, because women get to that point quicker than men. And then there's some men who just born in a space where they have it together and they just operate like that and they're leaders, they're natural leaders, and they will say, hey, come, hold a girl hand and pull it and say, hey, this is what we doing. So it goes like that too sometimes.
Like I'm with you, sacrifices is necessary. I've even made sacrifices for friends. I have a girlfriend, when she was in the process of buying her house, and I know she was like actively looking and working towards it, I cut out going on at after work lime and thing with her and brunches, and I was like, girl, instead of we going out to a restaurant and spending money, just come over by me, and I will cook on my own lime, and we started taking turns going at each other, like a group of friends, each other homes, because I knew that when we go out, we spend a couple $100s. So why would I encourage her to do that, or make her feel like she missing out when everybody else going and she trying to cut back on her expenses? And she have a house now.
Good. All right. So if we're doing station, let me start with the station, right? If we're doing station, if I break it down weekly, it's not that bad. It's $75 a week. You see, it's small. 75 multiply by 4, like 300 a month, right? Multiply by 12, like 3,600. Like 3,600 is what is spent in this room yearly. And let me just let you all know that none of it is covered by Tony. Right? None of it is covered by Tony. And this is excluding, let me be fair. He contributes sugar, which I don't drink. Nobody here really puts sugar in anything, but so he contributes sugar. So yeah, for those who asking, the Ojo breakfast party coffee budget, $3,600. This is outside of my personal stash, right? This is just internally. Home is a different story. You understand? Because home is a different brand, a different quality. What we bring here costs $3,600. On occasion, we are gifted with high-end brands. When we get that, it saves in the 36. But for the end of 2022 into 2023, we were gifted. We had something that lasted into Carnival. It recently ended. Jordan did message me and say that how I could expect a box. So some new thing coming soon. But until then, I will be spending $300. So yeah, for those who wanted to know, that's the figure. That's the local figure for what happens here.
Facts, Jaiga. That's facts. It's one of the things that we as people of color we don't understand finances at all. Preach, partner, preach.
Morning, Ocho. Morning. I give up a lot for my family, in a sense. When I say husband, when we did just get married and stuff, and we wanted to build a house. And I even tell him, I said, you know what? Don't give me no allowances. Don't give me no money, because I was a housewife and I'm working. Don't give me no money. Take that money and let us put it towards the house, to finish build the house. And we did that. I said, but whenever I want something, maybe once or twice, not even twice, maybe once a month I want something. I want to get something. But every time I ask him for something, it was a problem. But I still give up. I still sacrifice that for us to get the house.
All right, I hear that. Why women say that, boy? Every time I ask him for something, hey! All women say that, boy. Every time I ask him for something, it's a problem. It's not that it's a problem, love. Sometimes you have to understand, as men, it's about the timing and it's about how. But you all need to understand your person. When you understand your person, you can get anything you want from them, It's about understanding who you're with. When you understand who you're with, you can get anything at any given time. But when that understanding is not there, it comes off a little aggressive sometimes. It comes off in a space of like demanding. It's as though and a sense of entitlement. And yes, we all are entitled to certain things, especially in a relationship. You are entitled. As a wife, as a mother, as a daughter, you are entitled. But again, tone is very important. You see, tone has made nations go to war because it was said in the wrong tone. A man take it wrong, next thing is missile. Buildings falling because of the wrong tone. But again, if you understand your person, the tone will be in a way where the willingness to do will always, because I honestly believe that all human beings have some kind of love in them at some point. And in the case of relationships, there are men who will die for their significant other without no questions asked. If you need a body part, have men giving up lung and thing and kidney easy. It doesn't have to be a sense of question like, would you? Is you need it? Here it is. The people doing that willingly, but sometimes, in some instances, tone is very important. So, take it from the old Jaigs. Know your person, watch your tone. Your tone could crash a building if you don't know what you're doing.
Hey Jaiga, good morning. Man, it's like you're saying relationships are different. Right now, I have a friend. She's sacrificing for me. She's getting up an extra hour earlier just to take me to work. So, things can happen and you move and your relationship grows from level to level.
That's right. I know a lot of people do that, and that's the thing. Friendships are there as well. When we think relationships, right, we always think romantic relationship. There are friendships that people make sacrifices in friendships as well for other people, and that is something that we cannot let go unnoticed. There are people in our lives that are very, very valuable, and every opportunity you get, you need to try. And it's not that they're looking for validation, but it's always nice to let somebody know exactly how you feel in a moment, especially if they're doing something good for you. Because listen, as she just said, there are people who friendships range in different ways. There are people who like simple things like asking a friend to take you to the airport. Let's build a scenario, right? You live in, for those of you in Trinidad and understand the diaspora, understand the space geographically, you live in Diego Martin, right? You have a friend living Marabella Row. You live in Diego, your friend live in Marabella. They have to get to the airport for 7 o'clock a.m. in Piaco. Understanding what happens from San Fernando to Grand Bazaar in the morning. So that means the sacrifice you have to make, you have to either do one or two things. Sleep by them the night before, so that you all both can leave early at 5 to get to the airport before 7. Well, if flight is 7, you have to get there for at least 5 o'clock in the morning, 4:30. So you have to leave out early. Or if you sleep home, you have to know you have to get up at about 3, leave Diego Martin, head to Marabella, leave Marabella to head to Piaco in order to catch it. That is a sacrifice. It has nothing to do with a romantic relationship. That is just you as a friend doing something for someone because they need to go. Some people might be like, why call a taxi? Some people might operate that way, and then others will give up themselves willingly because that is the level of that friendship. So sacrifices come in different ways, different packages for different people.
Good morning, Ojo World.
Sorry.
Jaigs. Well, here it went for me. This truck man who you met in Eastgate Mall when Stacey had
Oh,
won
my
the grand prize.
brother. Yes, I.
Right, so what happened was when I had bought my truck and my daughter was 17, so that's some years ago. When I decided, I want to go in a little contracting business and I bought my first truck, I had no money to put the insurance. So she had the money and she was like, without hesitation, you have money to pay insurance? I was like, no. Insurance is 19,000 something. She went and she took out 20,000 cash and she handed to me. Yeah. Teamwork.
Yes, I. It shows you what Chuckman Raw. Me, Chuckman and your wife, real nice people and have a big daughter. It was real nice. And that's the energy we're talking about. When you are for someone. What's this saying here? No, it's not 300, it's 3,000, 3,600 a year for the coffee. That's TT dollars, guys. Don't get all up in all your feelings, That's 3,300 TT. 3,600 TT. Like a 500 US. Right? It isn't much in the scheme of things. So there's somebody coming on me and coming on my neck for my little coffee for me, please. So let's settle yourself. Calm down, right? Calm all the way down.
Good morning, Joel. How are you guys doing this morning? Listening to the conversation, and I have to say I have to agree with, if you really love the person, there should be a compromise. If it is that you want things to work, when I was married, I did a lot of compromising, me and my husband. I didn't do my nails every week. I do it, if you have a special occasion, if we were going out and stuff like that. My hair, I didn't go to the salon. I did my hair most of the time. Sometimes if it's some, again, special occasion, I would do it. But other than that, if it is that, we have to make that compromise, we have to do it. I'm just saying. And that's if you love the person. Toodles.
Jaiga, you're so right. Good morning, breakfast party. Jaiga, you see, sacrifices, especially in terms of non-material things, that really important. We don't watch that. With men, you see, the time, that is something you don't play with. And some females, especially, don't value that. My money is one thing, we could replace that if I hustling, if I having or ain't having. You see my time, don't waste my time. And if I take my time to invest in you, if I take my time and make sure that you get to here and there to and fro, you understand? Don't tell me I ain't contributing. Don't tell me that. Because you don't value that, because you have an ex-friend you could call. You have to value men and their time. Especially men who are bogged down to be providers and earners. The time is currency.
Of course, your time is currency. And a lot of people don't understand that. And on both ends, not just men, some women time is currency as well. Because especially if you meet a woman who is a single mother and she has to change or rearrange her life in order to give you some quality time. I'm talking to the men here. You also have to value that, because it's not easy for a single mother to carve out time to give you, knowing that they have young ones to take care of. Some men feel like they meet a girl and she must just drop the chair by the mother and go and flex at you and go here and go there because you want to lamb and jam. It doesn't go that way, my guy. And it's vice versa. And on the flip end, some women might meet a guy and how his work thing set up, in order for him to carve all the time to really nurture and put time into a relationship, it takes a lot. And they look at it as bare minimum or basic, because why? It doesn't come with a monetary attachment to it. Because most of the time we view everything in life with a dollar value, which most times they have a dollar value, but the currency of time is plenty value as well. All right, so let's enjoy drinking here to this. Wow. Why you coming on with my coffee drinking? Why you making this 3600? It's not that serious. Oh God, allow me now, please, I beg.
Yeah, Jaiga, happy belated birthday, my brother. I know you enjoyed it to the fullest. Mine was Saturday gone and I'm still enjoying it.
Yes, I, my brother. So yeah, alright guys, so that's it there. We reached the end. Want to thank you for being a part of it. So today, call in the team. Sit down, have a round table while we cut in for the next half of 2023. So at the end of the year, you could have a little something stashed away to have a beautiful Christmas and to start 2024. Alright? We'll squeeze one now before I do this here.
Yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah.